Christopher Jones, MP, Annette Ferguson, MP, and 6 other persons were charged with possessing unlawfully without the permission of the Chief of Police. Now, from the time you hear those words, Chief of Police, you can understand the old ordinance under which a charge like this is brought. So we don't have Chief of Police anymore. And so the matters came before the magistrate this morning. The magistrate took the statements from the prosecutor. In fact, the prosecutors were not ready. And this is my main concern, that you summon people before the court and still you're not ready with the statements that you have to deliver so that the trials can go ahead. This morning, the attorneys and the clients were ready to go to trial and finish this charade. It is in fact a charade. This is really what is happening. The police are acting at the behest of the political administration. The 2 MPs that you have here, Annette Ferguson, she has a judgment against Jagbio for $20 million. Christopher Jones has a matter in the High Court against them. Both of them will succeed. And so what they are doing now, they are using the police as a weapon against these MPs. But this is not just about them. It's about all of us. Because what we are seeing here is a sort of the state using terrorism against its own people. And so we have to link this with the last statements that were made against Amanzo Walton this year. This question about marking. And we know what happens when people use those things. You remember the boys in West Coast Bobbies, the Henry brothers, the marking. Remember Ronald Waddle, that was marked. And so what is happening here is that the PPP, they are giving power and they're giving strength to their supporters to come against us as an opposition. What we are seeing here is basically terrorism, the beginning of terrorism and state-sponsored terrorism. These are not just about ordinary charges. This is not about ordinary charges. So what we want the world to know, this is what it is. This is not just 2 ordinary charges. This is a part of a process of terrorizing the opposition, terrorizing the Guyanese public, terrorizing everybody who come against this installed regime. Anybody. And they don't even understand the history of this country when they make statements. So what I'm saying is that this is a wake-up call for all Guyanese, that we must stand firm together. This is important because what we are seeing here is a state-sponsored terrorism. Today is Chris and Annette, tomorrow could be anybody else. We already saw what they did with Chris, with Walden Lawrence, and all the other persons who were charged. And now I am told this, so I gotta use the word I am told, that they have approved in the cabinet $34 million to bring special prosecutors for the Elections Commission cases. $34 million, yet they can't find a cent to pay the public servants. Yet they can't find a cent to pay the frontline workers who are there toiling every day. But they can find money to go and pay special prosecutors. So we're going to keep an eye on that as well. But certainly we have to stand firm together. This is a defining moment for us here in Guyana and around the world. We are going to do as we said we will do. We will internationalize this issue. We will make the world know. We let the United Nations know. All the international bodies understand that what we are seeing here is this dictatorship that was installed that basically hitting against people who decide that they have a responsibility to oppose them. We are representatives of the people. This is the chief whip. This is a member of parliament. Both of them are members of parliament. How do you want to have them dragged before the court every minute? Every minute. And we are not like the others. The Attorney General who had all these charges brought against him proved in the court and not have to go and go and get the DPP to withdraw it. We are standing and we are fighting our cases. We are fighting our cases. And so we will support these MPs and the other persons who are charged. We will support them and we're going to see the end of this charge. That is what I have to say. Councillors to the other parties.
Essentially, what transpired in court today?
Good morning. Might I indicate firstly that I'm one of the attorneys from Loosfields and Stobie. And Loosfields and Stobie attorneys are among the attorneys representing Mr. Jones, and I've remained there at the invitation or at the request of Mr. Jones to field any questions that you have for Mr. Jones. Now, in terms of what transpired in court, as was indicated by the leader of the opposition, who is also one of the attorneys on record for Mr. Jones, the charge was brought against Mr. Jones and others, the charge of engaging in illegal possession without permission from the relevant authority. Now, we are of the firm view that these charges are frivolous, they're vexatious, they have no basis in law or in fact, and they're perhaps motivated only by political considerations. What is your name, sir? Ronald Daniels.
Can you speak on behalf of your clients?
Yes, thank you. Well, as you know, my name is Darren Wade. It is my firm view that these charges is another example of the PPP trying to silence Guyanese. They are trying to cut down on dissent. But it's important for us all to stay strong. Today in court, I represented, along with the leader of the opposition, Mr. Peter Chandon, Mr. Amsterdam. We would have entered an appearance on all of the defendants before court in the matter this morning. Ms. Ferguson has one additional charge for obstructing of a police officer. All of these charges that Mr. Daniels would have mentioned are frivolous and vexatious, and at the end of the day, they all will be dismissed. Mr. Harmon rightfully mentioned they use an old piece of legislation, over 100 years old, to try to harassing our people. A gentleman came all the way from West Bobbies today for this frivolous charge. But at the end of the day, there's no evidence, they're not prepared to go forward. But at the end of the day, the people of Guyana will see what is transpiring. Can you tell us the bail for each? Oh, the bail, right. They were placed on $20,000 bail for unlawful possession without the authority of the chief police. And Ms. Ferguson was given an additional $10,000 of obstructing the police officer.
And when again they're due in court?
They are due to try to court on the 14th of May.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.